A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a landmark decision, Australia's Senate has passed a groundbreaking law that bans children under the age of 16 from using popular social media platforms such as TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Reddit, X, and Instagram. This legislation, which was approved on November 28, 2024, by a vote of 34-19, marks Australia as the nation with the strictest social media regulations aimed at protecting young users from online dangers. The law imposes stringent penalties on social media companies, holding them accountable for systemic failures to prevent minors from accessing their platforms. Companies that fail to comply with the new regulations could face fines of up to 50 million Australian dollars, equivalent to approximately $33 million. This unprecedented move comes after a similar bill received overwhelming support in the House of Representatives just a day prior, passing with a significant majority of 102 votes to 13. The legislation allows a one-year grace period for social media platforms to implement the necessary measures to enforce the ban before any penalties are applied. However, the specifics of how these companies will prevent children under 16 from creating accounts or accessing their services remain unclear, raising concerns among lawmakers and advocacy groups. Critics of the legislation argue that the rushed process has left many questions unanswered regarding its practical implementation. Sunita Bose, managing director of the Digital Industry Group Incorporated, expressed her apprehension, stating, "The social media ban legislation has been released and passed within a week, and as a result, no one can confidently explain how it will work in practice. The community and platforms are in the dark about what exactly is required of them." Moreover, there are concerns that this legislation may disproportionately affect vulnerable groups, particularly in regional communities. Senator David Shoebridge from the Minority Greens Party highlighted the potential negative impact on LGBTQI youth, stating, "This policy will hurt vulnerable young people the most, especially in regional communities and especially the LGBTQI community, by cutting them off." Despite the criticisms, the bill has garnered significant support from individuals who have experienced the tragic consequences of online interactions. Sonia Ryan, a campaigner whose 15-year-old daughter Carly was murdered by a man posing as a teenager online, expressed her support for the legislation. "It's too late for my daughter, Carly, and the many other children who have suffered terribly and those who have lost their lives in Australia, but let us stand together on their behalf and embrace this together," she stated. Wayne Holdsworth, whose teenage son took his own life after being sextorted online, also voiced his pride in the decision, saying, "I have always been a proud Australian, but for me subsequent to today's Senate decision, I am bursting with pride." As Australia moves forward with this historic legislation, the world watches closely to see how the social media landscape will adapt to these new regulations and what implications they may have for the future of online interactions among young people. The law represents a significant step towards prioritizing the safety and well-being of children in the digital age, but its success will depend on the effective implementation and cooperation of social media platforms. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.